Well, there we are. Unfortunately, not the best morning after, so as to say. A game that India lost indeed to a better side, a side that not only was better than the Indians, they also had the rub of the green in terms of the conditions, in terms of the weather. Thank you, Machu. And in terms of the cricket that they played. I am not distraught with the performance of the Indian cricket team. I mean, when you come to a World Cup, you can lose a game or two. Yeah, India lost to a better side, like I said. But there are a few question marks. There have been a few question marks over the selection of this team. In fact, now it does look like the batting is a concern, and the Indians would have to ponder over the selections. They might also have to regroup, because what happens is when you approach the business end of the tournament and there are a few pressure games left, that is when you are tested. India still need to win the last two games. They still need to play against Bangladesh next in Adelaide, and we'll be traveling to Adelaide in a couple of hours from now. The flight is in a couple of hours. We land around afternoon India time, and both me and Nikhil will be live from Adelaide. They also need to win against Zimbabwe, because one more defeat can derail the Indian campaign. Pakistan are still in with a chance. What if they beat South Africa? And they can. They can beat South Africa. And what if Pakistan beats South Africa? Then there could be a situation, if India lose another game, wherein you could be tied with Pakistan. So India will have to up their game once again. India won against Pakistan, and I would say for the sheer brilliance of a few individuals. Virat, the knock that he played, 3 runs in the last 48 overs India chased, which normally doesn't happen in T20s. They were lucky to win that game. But the batting failures were forgotten. People forgot that India at one stage were 31 for 4. And when we started celebrating the Pakistan win, it seemed, like always, the end of the World Cup. World Cup to jeet liya hai ji, Pakistan ko hara diya. No, that was just the beginning. And I think the problem for India was that Virat and Hardik Pandya, they played so well that the failures of the other batsmen were forgotten. Even the game against Netherlands, just dig deep and look at the Indian batting. Rohit did get a 50, but India at one stage were some 100 odd runs, and they scored some 70-80 runs in the last 6 overs. That is when Surya Kumar Yadav and Virat Kohli exploded. And that is when the scoreboard started looking healthy. But again, we all forgot about the early failures. Against South Africa, the conditions were tough yesterday, like we all found out. There was steep bounce. 133 isn't a score that you can be proud of, but at least the bowlers fought well. But for that dropped catch or that missed run out, India might have actually won the game. But for Ashwin's expensive 4 overs, India might still have won the game. The point is, India have come to the World Cup with plan A. Will they go to plan B? And what is plan B? Plan A is when Rohit and Rahul Dravid would have thought about the first few games, this is going to be our 11 and this is going to be our game plan. I was a bit surprised that Yuzvendra Chahal never fitted into their game plan A. I thought he was their ace spinner. For the entire year, Rohit used Yuzi Chahal as his strike bowler, as his main bowler. And then just before the World Cup, Ravichandran Ashwin inched ahead. Do they still go in with Ashwin, or will they go to Chahal? Because Chahal's got that wicket-taking ability. At the Adelaide Oval, the ball might just turn also. So who is your main spinner after Akshar Patel? Akshar Patel will come back. Of course, Deepak Hooda will go back. So who is going to be your second spinner? Will it be Ravichandran Ashwin, who's been expensive? And even though he created that chance of Markram that Virat Kohli put down, Ashwin's not looked very menacing. So do they go in with Yuzi Chahal? Try him out? Because if you got to try him out, you got to try him out now. You can't do that in the semi-finals or the finals if India make it. The second point to ponder over would of course be Dinesh Karthik. Now Dinesh Karthik, after the IPL, was Rohit's choice. In the Asia Cup, he made it very clear there will be Dinesh Karthik who will play in the World Cup and not Rishabh Pant. And I'm not saying that Rishabh Pant has been in outstanding form in this format. He's been a great test player. He's done very well in the ODIs, but T20s, somehow Rishabh Pant hasn't really clicked, hasn't really lived up to the mark. There's a question from Sumit Agarwal. Sumit, that's exactly the point that we are discussing. So Dinesh Karthik was brought into the side for his game awareness, for the fact that he is a smart T20 player. Two failures again will not really take away everything that Dinesh Karthik would have tried to build over a period of time. But IPL is played in smaller grounds, on wickets which are very, very conducive to batting, doesn't really bounce much. And at times in an IPL attack, you'll have at most 2 outstanding international bowlers. You'll have a couple of more average international bowlers and 1 domestic bowler. So you can pick and choose the bowler that you want to hit and where you want to hit. Against Pakistan in the first game, India had all but messed up in the last over, and Dinesh Karthik somehow would have been responsible if India would have lost that game. If Nawaz had not bowled that wide and then Ashwin had not been smart enough to hit that over the mid-off, the blame would have been on Dinesh Karthik. He got another chance yesterday. Again, it was the top order that crumbled. It was the top order that let the team down. But remember, Dinesh Karthik was also playing in the side ahead of a wicket-keeper who's a better wicket-keeper than him. Because people thought that Dinesh Karthik will finish off the games well. It was a tough situation for the Indians. He had a partnership with Surya Kumar Yadav, and the way Surya Kumar Yadav was batting at the other end, all Dinesh Karthik had to do was to play his game sensibly, to take it to the last, even though he played a lot of dot balls and he wasn't in control of the situation, yet Surya Kumar at the other hand, he had the potential to take it to 150, 160. If Dinesh Karthik would have stayed there longer and batted till the end, but the kind of shot that he played, it defied game awareness. So these are the 2 changes. Will India be up for it? I know KL Rahul is a concern for us and you, but not for the team. The batting coach Vikram Rathore came the other day and somebody asked him. He said 2 failures, it's okay. I mean, we are with KL Rahul, and it's good that the team wants to stay with KL Rahul. But it is 3 failures now. It's not just a string of low scores. It is also the manner in which he's been getting out. He clearly lacks confidence. Somebody suggested that he should spend time with the mental conditioning coach Paddy Upton. That's fine, and that's Paddy Upton's role as well. At the same time, he also needs to practice. I somehow have been in Australia for about 2 weeks now, maybe 10 days, and I've seen him practice at the nets just once, one day before the first India-Pakistan game. He's not coming to the nets. I am not very sure as to what this optional practice means. I was told that the team management wants to rotate the players and do this workload management during the nets, which is fine. Every team does that. But there's a difference in workload management and optional training. So the word workload management would mean that the team management will decide, you get to practice today, okay, you can skip tomorrow. Optional practice means the player decides whether or not I want to practice. And if you've not been scoring runs, if you come down to Perth, why would you not want to bat an hour in the nets just to get used to the extra bounce? Yes, the Indians came to Perth a week in advance. They practiced here. They played a couple of games as well. But why would you not want to play every day, especially if you're not scoring runs? Why would you not want to get used to the conditions here, to the steep bounce here? Why is it that the Tendulkars and the Dravids and the Lakshmans and the others used to practice so much in their playing days? Specifically Rahul Dravid. When he was a batsman, he would practice, practice and practice. But now that he's the coach, is he okay with the players not practicing? Was he wrong then? Was he wrong now? The Indians can still pick themselves. They travel to Adelaide. And I think they should take positives from this game. The bowlers bowled well. The Indians fought well. And when you don't have runs on the board and you still show that fighting spirit, that is the best thing to come out of the Indian camp. Arshdeep Singh has been outstanding. Bhuvneshwar, good. Mohammad Shami, brilliant. So these three fast bowlers are doing their job. Hardik Pandya, again, when he came back, went for runs, but he started well. And I think as a bowler, he's pitching in. But it's the spin attack that you need to look into, especially now that you go to Adelaide. India played Deepak Hooda, an extra batsman. But if Rohit wasn't going to bowl him, they could have played Rishabh Pant. Yet again, this is a judgment that the team took. It did not work for them, which is fine. But now you've got to look ahead. For me, KL Rahul, one more game, yes. He might just start coming good because you don't have a specialist opener in your 11. You've got Rishabh Pant, but I don't know if Rishabh Pant can open here or should open here. But India should now start looking at Rishabh Pant as an option for Dinesh Karthik. Again, we are not very aware of the medical condition regarding Dinesh Karthik's back because we all saw that he went off holding his lower back, which was a dangerous sign. So maybe for the Adelaide game, for the Bangladesh game, I would imagine Rishabh Pant should come in place of Dinesh Karthik, and Yuzvendra Chahal has to come back now. He has to come back into the side. He's got to replace Ravichandran Ashwin because India need to try him out now. Else it can be too late. I'm not saying that Ashwin's not fulfilled his potential or his utility, but India need a spinner who can pick wickets in the middle overs. And I think Yuzi Chahal can be tried now. If it doesn't work, you still have time to go back to Ashwin. Else it'll be too late. Akshay Patel, of course, will come in. He will replace Deepak Hooda. And that's it. That's just about it. The defeat hurts. I'm sure it hurt the Indians as much. But they also need to look back at all the three games. The batting has not done well. You've not played the new ball well. KL Rahul needs to get runs. Rohit Sharma has looked very scratchy. And one Virat and one Surya Kumar Yadav have been outstanding. I think two batsmen can win you games. But if you say they'll win you the World Cup, that is a misnomer. The Indians need to regroup. It's a long flight here from Perth to Adelaide, about 4.5 hours. The coach, the captain, the others, they need to sit down and look at the positives from this defeat. I think I'll be honest enough in admitting that India lost to a better side on a day that conditions favored them more. So there's no shame in losing this game, but you need to learn your lessons. You need to have your 11 right, and those in the 11 must perform. Because this is a World Cup that the Indians have been waiting for a long time. They've started well. Hopefully they will be in the semi-finals. India may not top the pool, which might mean that you face New Zealand, your bogey team in the ICC tournaments, in the semi-finals. You got to prepare for the bigger games. Well, Nikhil and me will be traveling to Adelaide, like I told you. We've got a flight to catch. And hopefully, we'll be back live with you in about 8 hours from now. If you've got any suggestions or any questions or any cricketing advice for the Indian team, please do send your feedback to us and do subscribe to Sports Today.